Hello students, good afternoon. Welcome to chemistry class. In this class we will discuss about the third part of the chapter, some basic concept of the chemistry, in which we will discuss about laws of chemical combinations. Chemistry deals mainly with the reactions. In fact, reactions are the essence of chemistry. In 18th century, the chemist found that all the chemical reactions always takes place in accordance with some certain laws, and these laws are referred to as laws of chemical combination. Okay, a brief discussion of these laws as follows. Number one is law of conservation of mass. So this law was given by the French chemist Antoine Lavoisier in 1774. Lavoisier is regarded as the father of the chemistry, and he extensively studies a variety of chemical reactions and found that the total mass of the product obtained in a chemical reaction is always the same as the total mass of the reactant taken. Means in a chemical reaction, mass of the reactant and product on both sides always will be same. This important observation led him to formulate a very significant law known as law of conservation of mass. The law can be stated as follows. During any physical or chemical change, the total mass of product obtained is always equal to the mass of the reactant taken at the beginning of the change. Okay, and this is possible only when matter is neither created nor be destroyed in a physical or chemical change. So during any physical or chemical change, the matter neither created nor destroyed. However, it may be changed from one form to another form. This law can easily be understood by the considering following example. When calcium carbonate is strongly heated, then it decomposes to give lime, calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Suppose if 100 gram of calcium carbonates are strongly heated, then we get 56 gram of calcium oxide and 44 gram of carbon dioxide. Then the total mass of the product, that is 56 plus 44 equals to 100 gram, is exactly the same as the mass of calcium carbonate taken in the beginning of the reaction. Calcium carbonate after heating give calcium oxide whose weight is 56 gram and carbon dioxide whose weight is 44 gram. The total weight of product is 100 gram and total weight of reactant is 100 gram. Hence it is proved that during a chemical reaction, the atomic mass of the reactant should be always equal to mass of the product. Okay, so when carbon is burnt in oxygen, we get carbon dioxide. Suppose we wish to burn 12 gram of carbon, then it consumes exactly 32 gram of oxygen during combustion and form exactly 44 gram of carbon dioxide. The total mass of reactant in this case 32 plus 12 equal to 44 gram, which is exactly same as the mass of the compound formed, mass of the product formed. Carbon 12 gram, oxygen 32, total weight 44 gram, and the product that will form whose weight is also 44 gram. So it is proved that during a chemical reaction, mass of reactant and product will be same. Experimental verification of this law of conservation mass. So this law can be verified by the study of any chemical reaction. In the laboratory, it can be easily verified by the study of the following reaction. For example, sodium nitrate when react with sodium chloride, then it will give precipitate of silver chloride and sodium nitrate. So when a solution of silver nitrate is treated when a solution of sodium chloride with a solution of sodium chloride, then a white precipitate of silver chloride is obtained along with a solution of sodium nitrate. If the law is true, the total mass of silver nitrate and sodium chloride should be the same as the mass of the AgCl precipitated and sodium nitrate solution. The experiment is done in a specially designed H-shaped tube called as Landolt tube. In this NaCl solution is formed, in this AgNO3 solution is formed. Sodium chloride solution is taken in 1 limb of the tube while the silver nitrate solution is taken in the other limb as shown in the figure. Now both the limbs now the tube is inverted so that both the limbs are now sealed and tube is wet. Okay, now the tube is inverted so that the solution can mix up together and react chemically. The reaction takes place as monitored above and a precipitate of silver chloride is obtained. The tube is again wetted. The mass of the tube is found to be exactly the same as the mass obtained before inverting the tube. This experiment clearly shows that law of conservation of mass is true. Okay, so this is the experimental determination for the law of conservation of mass. Okay, now come to the law of constant composition. Law of constant composition. So this law was given by the French chemist Proust in 1797 and deals with the composition of chemical compound. A chemical compound, no matter from which solution is obtained, always contains the same elements combining together in the same different proportion by mass. Okay, a chemical compound, no matter from which solution is obtained, always contain the same element combining together in the same definite proportion by mass. Means we can say that if we were extracting any element from any source, so it does not matter that their chemical composition or chemical weight will be different. It will be always same. Either it will be extracted from a natural source or we can manufacture in the lab. Okay, so for example, H2O, water is composed of two elements, that is hydrogen and oxygen, in the ratio of 1/8 by mass. Pure water obtained from any source, example hand pump, well, river, spring, sea, rains, artificially prepared in the laboratory, always contains hydrogen and oxygen in the same fixed ratio 1/8 by mass. Simply carbon dioxide can be obtained from the various sources, yeah, it can be obtained by the burning of carbon in oxygen. C plus O2 gives CO2 by heating. By heating calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate after heating give calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. By heating solution of sodium bicarbonate 2NaHCO3 after heating gives sodium carbonate plus carbon dioxide plus water. Or by treating marble piece with dilute hydrochloric acid, CaCO3 plus 2HCl gives CaCl2 plus H2O plus CO2, etc. Thus, carbon dioxide obtained by any of these methods contains only two elements of carbon and oxygen combined together in the ratio of 3:8 by mass. So it doesn't matter from which method you can extract a compound, its nature and its composition always will be same. Okay, so this was the law of constant composition. Okay, now come to the next law, that is law of multiple proportion. Law of multiple proportion. So when two elements combines to form two or more compounds, then the different masses of one element which is combined with the fixed mass of the other element bears a simple whole number ratio with one another. Means when two elements combine to form two or more compounds, then the different mass of one element which is combined with the fixed mass of other element, that will always bear a simple whole number ratio. For example, this law can be easily understood with the help of the following example. Let us consider two elements, carbon and oxygen. They combine with each other to form compound, that is carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. In carbon monoxide, the ratio of mass of carbon and oxygen is 12:60. while in CO2 the ratio of mass is 12 into is to 32. Therefore the ratio of masses of oxygen which combines the fixed carbon 12 parts in these two compounds will be, that is 1 is to 1, which is the simple whole number ratio. Same, sulfur and oxygen combines together to form SO2 and SO3. In SO2 SO ratio is 32 to 32 by mass, where SO3 SO 32 42 by mass. Therefore it in two compound the ratio of the masses of oxygen combines with 32 part of sulfur is 32 is to 48, means 2 is to 3 is the simple whole number ratio for these compound. So you can say that in case of law of multiple proportion, when two or more than two compounds combines with each other, then they bear a simple whole number ratio. Next one is law of reciprocal proportions. So when two elements combine separately with the definite mass of third element, then the ratio of their masses in which they do so is either the same or some whole number multiple of the ratio in which they combine with each other. The ratio will be same or whole number multiple of ratio in which they combine with each other. Let us consider one example. Let us consider three elements: hydrogen, sulfur and oxygen. So hydrogen combine with the oxygen to form water, whereas sulfur combines with it to form sulfur dioxide. Hydrogen and sulfur can also combine together to form hydrogen sulfide. The formation of these compound shown in the figure: hydrogen sulfur combined H2S, hydrogen oxygen combined H2O, hydrogen oxygen sulfur combined SO2. In H2O, the ratio of mass of hydrogen and oxygen is 2 to 16. In SO2, the ratio of mass of 32 to 32. Therefore, the ratio of masses of hydrogen and sulfur will combine to fix mass of the ratio of oxygen will be 4 to 32. That is 1 by 8. And when hydrogen and sulfur combine together, then they will form H2S, and there will also be a 1 is to 16 and 1 is to 16. Now the two ratio 1 is question number 1 and 2 are raised to each other, related to is the 1 is to 8 is to 1 is to 16 equals to 2 is to 1. So they will bear, you can see here, then they will bear a simple whole number ratio. Okay. Next, come to the fifth law, Gay-Lussac law of combining volumes. Gay-Lussac law of combining volume. So when two or more gases react with one another, then their volume bears simple whole number ratio with one another and to the volume of the product, and provided all the volumes are measured under identical condition of temperature and pressure. Okay, so when two or more than two gases react with one another, their volumes always bear a simple whole number ratio when one another. Okay, how we can see here by taking one example, that is the law. This law can be understood by the help of following example, that is gaseous hydrogen and gaseous chlorine react to form a gaseous hydrogen chloride H2 plus Cl2 to HCl. It has been observed experimentally that in this reaction the volume of hydrogen always react with the volume of chlorine to form two volume of gaseous state, and their volume bear a ratio of 1 is to 2 is to 1. This ratio is simple whole number ratio, 1 is to 1 is to 2. So when two gases will combine with each other and form a third gas, then they also bear a simple whole number ratio like 1 is to 2 is to 1. Okay, so these are some 5 laws for chemical combinations. Okay, thank you, have a